Have you ever sat down to fly and within a few minutes you're already overwhelmed? The drone climbs too fast, your hands freeze up, and suddenly that gap that you're aiming for, that looks way smaller. Or maybe you open up your sim thinking, alright, this is the session where it all clicks. And 20 minutes later, you are more frustrated than when you started. You crash, you reset, you start wondering if you're just not cut out for all of this, but look, here's the truth. It's not actually your fault at all. It's not because you don't have the reflexes or you're not techie enough. It's because no one's showing you a clear roadmap for how to actually get good at FPV. Thankfully, however, that's exactly what this workshop is going to give you. By the end of this, you'll be able to fly with actual control, start hitting the gaps you want, and fly faster without everything just falling apart. The best part about all of this too is that you don't need new gear, you don't need to grind for years in the sim, and you don't need to be some, natural born pilot. You just need the right steps in the right order, and that's what we're doing here. But before we dive into any of that, you do need to understand where you're at right now. And to do that, I need to show you something that explains why this whole journey probably feels so damn up and down. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. The horizontal line equals time, and the vertical line equals confidence. Most people follow this model with nearly everything new they try, and there was absolutely no difference when it came to FPV. I started out here, zero confidence with zero time in the hobby as well. Over my first year, I started climbing up a mountain of confidence, which is accurately named Mount Stupid. My problem was that I had way too much confidence. Like, I thought I knew everything as if somehow I had completed the hobby. But by the end of my first year, I thought I was on top of the world. As it turns out, I was just on top of Mount Stupid, and well, there's only one way down from there. And that happened to be down into the Valley of Despair. I remember this moment so clearly. But the basis was that I had attended a race event, saw that I actually sucked at flying, didn't know what anybody was talking about, and yeah, I got humbled and my confidence just plummeted right down to that valley. Since then, I have kept learning, and now my confidence actually matches the time that I've put in. And if there was one piece of advice I could give you, it would be to do your damn well best to avoid climbing up Mount Stupid, and if anything, start there in the Valley of Despair and just slowly go up from there. You'll save yourself a world of frustration and, well, a lot of humbling. So here's what that slow ascent out of the valley is going to look like here. In section 1, you'll learn how to crash less and actually hit the gaps that you're aiming for, not just hope you get lucky. In section 2, you'll take full control of your hover so that the drone finally feels like it's following your lead instead of doing its own thing. In section 3, you'll learn how to fly faster and smoother, all while retaining full control. And in section 4, I'll be showing you what to buy, absolutely future-proof stuff at most budget ranges as well. Now, before we get started, here's what I recommend that you have on hand. First up, an FPV controller. If you don't have one yet, don't stress, I'm going to show you which one to grab later on. Secondly, a simulator. Uncrashed, trip, DRL, liftoff, it doesn't matter. They'll all do what we need them to do. Thirdly, the Betaflight configurator. Don't stress, you don't need to understand it yet. I'll just be walking you through the parts that matter when they matter. Then finally, a real FPV drone if you've got one. But look, if you don't, that's also totally fine. The sim alone is more than enough to get started with this workshop. As a bit of a bonus tip here, try to match your drone setup in the sim to what you're flying in real life or planning on flying. So if you're going tiny whoop, choose a small drone, ideally a tiny whoop. For a 5-inch drone, try and find something that matches that. This is going to make everything you learn here transfer into real life 10 times easier. So let's kick things off and start making your drone feel like it's actually finally under your control.